Even though I will never, ever, ever, never, 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 ever, never, ever, ever, never, 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 ever, never, ever, 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 never go back to being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. There are a few things about having a Jehovah Witness past that I'm grateful for. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite pirate captain. It's your favorite goddess king. It's your favorite auntie uncle. It's your favorite LadySpeech in the place to be. Your favorite hood high healer, high priestess, motivational dominatrix. That's right, LadySpeech Sankofa in the place to be, and I want to welcome you back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world. Ha! And you're also choosing to share a little bit of time and space with me. You're choosing to commune with me, and I appreciate that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your time is in fact valuable, okay? It's valuable as hell. So I just appreciate the fact that you're giving me a little bit of that. All right. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit the like button, okay? Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notifications bell so you can keep up with all my shenanigans and happenings and goings downs and things. And also leave some good vibes in the comments, baby. It boosts me in the algorithm. Now that we've taken care of all of that, let's get into today's video, shall we? All right, y'all, all right, y'all, all right, y'all, all right. Let's give a little thanks today. Let's switch a little gears today, okay? Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am a recovering ex-Jehovah Witness. And there's a whole playlist on this here channel. I don't know why I'm jesting over here, but there's a whole playlist on this here channel where I speak a lot about that, where I speak to the highs, the lows, mostly the lows, mostly the lows, mostly the things I'm recovering from, and the reasons why I left. Y'all can check that out. But one thing I wanted to do was give thanks. And I wanted to give thanks because I am at a very interesting intersection in my life. And I wanted to give thanks for the way my Jehovah Witness past influences who I am now, and some of the positive things that I am intensely grateful for right now, especially now that I'm moving into a new space, a different space in my life. I wanted to take a moment and show some gratitude and some love. And why I thought it was important to do this, number one, because I just wanted to express my gratitude, but number two, I think it's very important for people who are decolonizing from organized religions, who are healing from organized religions, to see this aspect of things. I will never go back to being a formal Christian. I will never go back to being a Jehovah Witness. None of that is part of my path or my calling. However, and I also experience a lot of abuse and a lot of negative things due to that religion. There's a lot of spiritual abuse. I speak about that a lot in my, recovering from being an ex-Jehovah Witness. That was the first realm where I experienced intense spiritual abuse, okay? So I'm never going back to that space, okay? However, due to all of these years of healing, I have gotten to a space where I've made peace. And not only have I made peace, the healing has allowed an integration. And what it also has allowed me to do is look into that past and get the good things, get the things that the good qualities about me now that were molded and shaped by, being one of Jehovah Witnesses. And I want to make it okay for one to understand that they're not going to go back to that situation, understand that that situation was toxic and abusive, but also there is a part of the healing that you can get to and achieve where you can see if there were good things there, where you can get those good things and confidently reclaim those things in a space of healing and a space of health without putting yourself in danger of that situation again, okay? I think it's super important to acknowledge these different milestones along healing, and this is definitely one of them. So today, we're going to speak about the 3 things I'm grateful for from being a recovering ex-Jehovah Witness, but the 3 things I'm grateful for that I got from being a Jehovah Witness. But before we get into that, let's talk about what even sparked this. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, if you've been paying attention to the last couple of years of my journey on some of my social media, or if you're a close friend, you know that I have grown intensively close to voodoo. And voodoo has been a calling on my life for a very long time. But it's something that I've slowly been making my way towards and to. This last couple of years, it's been a very intense and a very present, active energy in my life. Now, I have been a practicing conjure woman, conjure person, hoodoo sant, witch, practitioner, root worker for a very long time. A magic person, a healer. I've been on this path for over 20 years. And so I started when I was younger. I started when I was younger. Yeah, I was into this. Over 20 years, because I started in my early teens. I was still in that Jehovah Witness place, but I was doing a lot of things in the background and undercover. I was doing a lot of my research. So I've been about this life for a very long time. And so voodoo, though, has been, and since the beginning of my journey, voodoo is something that was always here. Ifa and voodoo were something that just pierced me, that resonated with me, just like hoodoo, just like conjure. It just pierced me in my heart, and I just knew that this was mine. So fast forward, the last couple of years, this journey has gotten really real. And I thought I had, initially a couple of years ago, I thought I had found the teacher that was supposed to take me to deeper into my journey. Now, here's the thing. This teacher did take me deeper into my journey. They didn't take me deep like I thought they were, but they were a bridge to get me to where I am now. That's a whole nother video that I'm going to cover in good teachers, bad teachers, all that good stuff, okay? But anyway, I thought I was moving with one house. I thought I was going towards one teacher. I thought I was about to learn and be a part of this situation in regards to Haitian voodoo, but that wasn't the case. What was the case is the Loa did call me. The Loa very firmly and very solidly called me, and they called me through this first initial teacher. I am someone who follows spirit. I don't follow people. Now, I have been very fortunate to have spirit send me really good teachers along the lines, but I don't follow teachers. It's not about teachers, it's about spirit. It's about my personal connection to God, and I understand that spirit will utilize the teachers, good teachers, and send them to me. And this, especially, the older I get, the more that I deal with spirituality and people, imperfect people dealing with spirituality, the more this following spirit, being dedicated to spirit first, has saved my life, has saved my sanity, has saved my finances, has saved my everything, okay? Long story longer. The Loa called me. I knew that at a certain point, I knew it was time to part ways with this teacher, and I willingly did so because our time was done. But the Loa was very firm and very clear that I was not to stop practicing or studying, so I did not. I deepened in private and very quietly, sometimes and not so quietly. I deepened my practice with the Loa, deepened my practice with voodoo. And I just continued to pray for the proper teachers and the proper house to come to me. And I'm happy to say that that has happened. One of the biggest reasons why I moved to Ohio was because Spirit told me to. And a big reason why I moved here was I understood the teachers that I needed to be close to during this time in my life. The people that I needed to learn from were closer over here in this part of where I live, and part of this part of the world. Not necessarily just in this state, but I'm 6 to 7 hours. I'm closer to a lot of the people that I need to study up under, I need to commune with, I need to be with, I need to spend time with magically and learn from and teach as well. So this is why I came out here. And 6 months in, 7 months, 6 to 7 months in, 6.5 months from later, I am overjoyed. And so grateful. I get to finally pursue my next initiations in the realm of voodoo. In a few months, I get to undertake a ceremony where, and an initiation where I get to add Mambo to my name. This initiation is the first of many, not just with voodoo. This situation right here is a new beginning, is a continuation, is the next phase of my spiritual life. And it has taken a long time to get here. And I am grateful for every single step. I am grateful for every single teacher, good and bad. I'm grateful for every single lesson, good and bad. I'm grateful for every single time I dropped the ball and made a mistake, and the spirits used that mistake to teach me something grand and beautiful, and I became a better person. I am grateful for every hiccup, for every hitch along the way. I'm thankful for every single part of this journey. I'm thankful for every single part of this journey, because I know right here, right now, I am in the right place. I'm in the right time. Everything is in alignment. It is in alignment for me to take these next few steps. The spirits have laid down golden carpet in order for me to walk through to my destiny so concretely and so beautifully and so securely held in their love. I am grateful. And baby, I've been through an intense amount of spiritual abuse. I've been through an intense amount of betrayal. I've let down disappointment from all types of teachers and peers. And I'm telling you, I don't regret any of it, because it got me here. And that includes being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. That includes that. I'm never going back. As a matter of fact, I'm going full steam in the opposite direction. A whole voodoo priestess. And I've already been a practicing conjurer voodoo son. If that wasn't all that right there, if that was not confirmation that I wasn't going back, I'm moving forward in not just this tradition, but in the other traditions I'm being called to. I'm never going back, but in this moment of clarity and of healing and of acceptance of my entire path, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful because being one of Jehovah's Witnesses did give me a couple of really beautiful, valuable, and precious gifts that are assisting me in my life, and I know will continue to assist me in my life. So let's talk about it. Number one, I am grateful for a song called Make the Truth Your Own. I've been disconnected from the Jehovah's Witness world for over 20 years, so I don't know if this song is still existing, but when you are a Jehovah's Witness, there is a song book that they sing out of. There is no choir, so it is the whole congregation that before certain meetings, we all sing a song. And then, the meeting, they let you pre-know ahead of time, a little bit ahead of time, what songs you're going to be singing. So you pull out your songbook, they have pre-recorded music, and then we all sing the song. The songs are really dry. They're not soulful at all. I hated the music, except for there was a song called Make the Truth Your Own. And that song hit me in my soul. And really the chorus was like, make the truth your own. By God's will, something, la blue, blue, I don't remember the words. You make known that the truth is your own. I love that song. It's dry opera, and please know, I actually love opera and classical music. This just, no soul, but that song, from the moment I could articulate anything, that song hit me in my solar plexus, it hit me in my heart, it hit me in my soul, and it made sense. And that song helped me, was literally actually the blueprint for where I'm at now spiritually. The basis of that song, when you got deeper into it, I remember the chorus and I remember the meaning. And the meaning was basically like, don't just regurgitate spirituality that you're being taught. Like, don't make it your own. Really take it into you. Like, take the word of God into you. Take the word of spirit into you. Take it into you. Love it. Appreciate it. Let it pour into you. And that was profound. And I took that advice and those words quite literally. This song helped me to understand that being one of Jehovah's Witnesses wasn't for me. This song really prompted me to take it seriously and really take this in. I remember there came a point, I was about 14, 15, when I was like, okay, let's try. I really wasn't taking it seriously. It was something, being a Jehovah's Witness was something that I was taught, something that I was taught to do, but really hadn't figured out my beliefs around it. So I took a little bit and I really tried to make it my own. And because of that song, I understood that being a Jehovah Witness, I understood it rather quickly that this was not the religion for me. So number one, I'm actually grateful for that song, because that song helped to provide an exit for me to get out of that religion. So let's talk about number two of why I'm thankful and what I'm thankful for from being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Also, I know we just talked about the fact that, and I said I was going to move on, but just to piggyback off of what I just said, not only did that song allow me to leave being one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but that song influences the way that I run my spirituality now. Every single, as my faith has progressed, as my faith has morphed and changed, as I have really settled into who I am spiritually, I have approached every single faith. I've approached every single, my research with Creator, my connection to God with that song in mind. Like, I really, it's not just, oh, these are shiny words and this resonates with my shadow self, or this resonates with the things that I like. I really take it deep into me, and if it doesn't resonate with my spirit, if something doesn't resonate with my soul, I question it. And because I've done that, I've been brought to a place of peace. I've been brought to a place of love, and I've been brought to a place of power and clarity and understanding with my faith and spirituality. So that song did not only help me to escape, not only was it the foundation for me to really escape that cult organization, but it was a foundation for me to be led to what my truth is, what my spiritual truth is. And I literally still hear that melody sometimes when I'm studying something, or when I happen on something that I know is for me. I still hear that go off in my head. So I really am and truly, like, grateful for that song. So yeah, that's that. Reason number two that I'm grateful for my past as an ex-Jehovah Witness is the public speaking component. I'm a good public speaker, and that is in part due to natural talent, baby. I'm good at what I do because I come from great ancestors who gave this to me. Never ever doubt that. But also, it was cultivated. Yes, I took speech and debate and drama in school, and I'm a theatrical child. I'm a theatrical person, a woman, a king, a man, a person of all that. Gender fluid, just a reminder. But I also had to speak being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Not only do you have to go door to door and prophesy to people about your freaking religion, which I fucking hated. So public speaking and learning how to speak to strangers, you learn that there, and you get over the fear of speaking to people and strangers. But also there's this thing called theocratic ministry school that you give talks. And that really helped me to learn how to structure a presentation, a talk. It got me used to talking in crowds in front of people. And also in our meetings, our big meetings on Sunday, there is a talk proponent or a lecture that you attend in the beginning, and then at the second part of it, we all study an article in the Watchtower that, you know, we're all doing it everywhere on earth. So you get the article, you read it, and then you read that article together as a congregation within an hour. And then each paragraph or each section has questions, and then you raise your hand and a mic comes to you and you answer questions if you have access to electricity. Otherwise, you're just called on like in school and you answer the question. That trained me to be a really good public speaker, and I'm really thankful for that. It also trained me to be able to be comfortable about talking about my faith. Now, I am not someone who just goes off to random people trying to get them to be what I am, but when someone speaks to me and wants to speak philosophically about spirituality, about my personal spirituality or other, I can do that. And that comes from being one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, you know, when people want to know about my spirituality or when it's time for me to teach. I've been a mentor for a while, and as I move deeper into my spirituality, I will become a godmother, which means I will take on personal students and help steward their way towards spirituality. I am here to help people and teach people. So I'm really grateful that, you know, for that skill, because that's a good component that I can take with me. Not every priestess is a good teacher. Not every priest is a good teacher. Not every shaman is a good teacher. And not everyone is a good orator. You don't have to be a good teacher, but sometimes you do need to be able to articulate things so that people can learn lessons behind you. And I'm grateful that I have those skills in part due to being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's number 2. Let's move on to number 3, baby. And the last one, and the most valuable as far as I'm concerned. And last, but certainly not least, the last thing I'm grateful for my Jehovah's Witness past is the academic nature of that religion, of that cult, of that religion, of that organization, okay? Let me tell you something. If you're gonna be a Jehovah's Witness, you better get used to learning. You better get used to books. You better get used to volumes on volumes of things to read. It's an intensely research-based organization. It's an intensely academic organization. So I am very grateful for that, because actually what it caused me to do, and I do believe this was partly influenced by my influence from the outside world, and I wasn't exclusively raised Jehovah's Witness in my childhood. There were some things that happened. You can look in the playlist to see that story. So I was exposed to other things, other way of thinkings before I got all the way entrenched in that, and I believe my critical thinking was already activated, okay? So that research prompted me to do research on the religion. What that research did, it was a part of my gateway out of the religion, because I did research on the religion outside of it, and found out a bunch of things. But also, as I left the religion, it allowed me to really not just take teachers' word for truth when I met people along my spiritual journey. Also, very practically, I'm on the road to becoming a mambo, okay? I'm on the road to becoming a high priestess in the voodoo tradition, all right? And that is not the only tradition that I am to be a high priest, a high priestess in, all right? This requires a lot of study, all right? Already on my day, there is an hour and a half added on to just study and research, and taking notes, and like there's things I'm gonna have to memorize. Already I've been told that there's new skills that I need to brush up on, and like there's a lot of research, and that would be very daunting if I didn't come from a place of academic research where this is what you're supposed to do. I was literally trained, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate that, like, they give you a bunch of research. Now with the Jehovah's Witness way, they give you a bunch of Christian fictional propaganda. They do give a lot of real information about a lot of other religions. Surprise, surprise. You will learn a lot of, what I should say, westernized, organized religion, specifically Christianity, okay? Now, when it comes to indigenous religions, they are messing it up. When it comes to kudu, conjure, indigenous religions, and all that's the devil. They don't really do real research in regards to that, a bunch of propaganda. But when it comes to their Christian counterparts and their organized religion counterparts, they do there's some research that I'm like, oh, that is actually true. However, the fact that you do need to do research, the fact that you do need to read a lot of books, the fact that not just one main book is associated with that, like definitely it's the Bible, but they have all these supplemental readings to help you understand the Bible, all this stuff. I'm intensely grateful because I have to study a lot. And I'm grateful for that, because there will be knowledge that I will be able to impart to my mentees. There'll be knowledge I'll be able to impart to the people I teach, and knowledge that I get to have because of that. So I'm grateful for that. Those are my top 3 things why I'm actually grateful for being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And in the end, I just want to say that there's a lot of people who come to new faith after being one of Jehovah's Witnesses, or after experiencing being a Christian or dealing with organized religion, and they walk into new faith, or they find a new way to practice, or they find their groove with spirituality, and especially those of us who had a very destructive or an abusive experience with our old faiths. It is sometimes hard to look back at the old things we used to practice and get anything beautiful from that. And so let this be a testament that you can. I am at a place with my healing, like I said, I'm never going back, not interested in any way, shape, or form. Grateful I've escaped. Very grateful that I'm here and now in this place. But also, with that being said, every part of my journey, it was important. Every part of it. Every part of it. And because I've learned, and because I engage in healing, there is a lesson, there is wisdom, there is understanding, there is something that I've gotten from every single aspect of my experience. And every single aspect of my experience is responsible for getting me here. So I am intensely grateful for that. And where am I at in life? Very happy with myself. Extremely happy with myself. Satisfied with the path that I am walking. Very, very solidly connected with the ancestors and my creator. Feeling myself. I love who I am as a person. Are there things to address and for me to improve? Yes, there will always be. We're imperfect humans, but I'm happy with me. I'm happy with where I'm going. I'm clear about what my path and my purpose is, and I feel solid with that. And I am excited as hell for the future. I prayed for this ease, for this peace, this moment of true connection. And I have had moments like this throughout the whole journey, which is what has kept me going on the journey. And every time I gather another aspect, another piece of myself, my soul, like pull myself together, the more peace, the more beauty, the more love, the more healing, that just this feeling of rightness never gets old. It gets even grander and greater the deeper you walk your purpose and your path. Everything was worth it. Every piece of pain, every piece of heartbreak, everyone who I ain't taking with me on this journey, all of that was worth it, baby. Because I'm here. And I'm not just here. I haven't just survived. I'm thriving. And the spirits are with me. Oh, Lord, I tell you, when I had my reading this week, grateful. Intensely grateful to be here on this journey. Intensely grateful. If you're listening to this and you're walking your spiritual path and journey, if you have survived spiritual abuse, if you are decolonizing, if you're processing trauma and pain from organized religion, keep going. Keep seeking your healing. You're gonna fall, you're gonna stumble. You're gonna attract some really good teachers and people along the way. You're gonna attract some fuckboys and some spiritual fuckgirls along the way too. There are going to be lessons for you. Don't give up. Don't drop the ball. Remember that Creator sees you. You're going to have moments with your spirituality where you disconnect, where you do not trust Spirit, you don't trust God, you don't trust Creator, and that's okay. That's okay. Take your breaks. Step away when you need to. But keep going. And remember, it's about spirit. It's about you and your relationship with Spirit. It's about you and your relationship with God. Follow good teachers, yes. But let your spirit, let your guides lead you to those good teachers. And listen to your spirit always. Because they'll tell you, sometimes a good teacher can go wrong. Sometimes they're going through some mental health shit. You need to take a break. Sometimes they have been compromised. And your spirits will tell you who you need to mess with and who you need to not. When you need to mess with them and when you need to not. And for those of us who've experienced spiritual abuse by trusted people from the occult world, because baby, it's not just organized religion. This new age world is full of abusers, full of narcissists, trapezing and costuming themselves like they are gurus and guides, honey. If you've been hurt in any capacity by a spiritual leader, please know that healing is possible. And there are good teachers out there. Let me be a testament of that. Honey, I've ran through some teachers because they meant me harm or didn't mean me any good or whatever reasons. But following Spirit always gets me exactly where I need to be. Following Spirit always gets you exactly where you need to be. And all right, y'all, that's that on that. If you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for just supporting me in any way, shape, or form. Yes, I will be talking to you guys on this channel about my journey, about, into becoming a mambo. No, you will not be seeing any, you won't be seeing any. You won't be seeing any behind the stage. I had to think about that. You won't be seeing any real true backstage footage of my process. I will come on here and talk about my process with you, but I'm not going to show you the private things I'm doing to get ready. I'm not going to be sharing with you the books that I'm reading. I'm not going to be sharing that stuff with you. This is an intensely personal process, becoming a mambo, becoming a priestess, and it's closed for a reason. So I'm not going to share these things with you, but I will share my reactions. I will share what I'm going through. I will share my feelings things about it, and I will describe some things to you. There's some things you might see. There's as I'm permitted and as Spirit tells me to, because there's a lot of times Spirit wants me to share parts of my spiritual journey with you. Even like making this video, this was literally like Spirit was like, tell people this is going to benefit someone. And so if Spirit leads me to share a certain component of my journey into this aspect of my spirituality, I will do that. So that's what you can expect to see, you know, from me. And yeah, I hope this helped. This was definitely good energy for me. This definitely helped to heal me. This definitely helped me in a lot of capacities. So I hope this was beneficial to someone out there. And on that note, I don't want to take up all of your time, just a little bit of your time. So it's time for us to say goodbye. You have a good morning, a good evening, an afternoon, middle of the night, whenever you encounter this. A good month, a good week, a good day, a good hour, a good life, a good year, a good motherfucking decade. Do you hear me? Okay? If you're feeling this, if you're feeling me, if you like what I'm doing, I hope you like what you're doing. I hope you like what you're doing in life. But if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notifications bell so you can keep up with all my shenanigans and happenings and goings-ons and things. Okay, honey? Okay? Just in case no one has told you today, you are beautiful. You are loved. You are cherished by your ancestors, and you are so divine. Never forget that. And I say that often because a lot of you forget that. So let this be a remembrance to us all. All right. And on that note, God, Goddess, Spirit, Universe willing, I will see all you beautiful people in the next video. Mwah. Mwah. Mwah.